Okay, here's my basic oxygen furnace, BOF. We got ladles coming in, scrap steel dumping into the BOF. We got the oxygen coming in. We got chemicals coming in, loading up from here, going up to here. The lime and stuff gets dumped into here and sucked up into there. The oxygen gets delivered through the pipeline at the bottom and on up into the oxygen furnace. At the top, all the hot air goes down and gets delivered out on pipes to the rest of the furnace works. So that's the general idea here. The whole, is as normal. What you have here, so you can look in here, the red and black wires are the electric wires that power Of course, nothing works when you want it to. Here we go. Well, anyway, that is lifted up by the motor, powered by. Oh, well, maybe that's why. Apparently, it's not why. Anyway, that lifts up. It can be moved over. Okay, and then to get it to here, this whole thing ends up, it's supposed to be, about 12 inches wide, 18 inches long or something like that. So you could have basic oxygen furnace, electric furnace, and then the steel mill iron furnace, and all the railroad lines would be able to be used across there, and they'd all interconnect. So it ends up being, that's all fine for those things that don't really have anything in them. But once you start putting motors and things in here, and cables and everything else, you just run out of space. So I found that out a little bit too late. I don't know what I'm going to probably take it all apart and try and figure out so it did work. But anyway, so the other thing here is, if you watch, the going up and down, the wires can get wacky-doodled. And the other thing here is this. I got these, bought this one, and it came with one of these, and if you notice close, that thread is not the same as this thread. I don't know if you can see it or not, but if you look, this thread, this thread here goes real fast. This thread here doesn't turn as quite as fast, and the ones they sent me fit this one, but not this one. So I ended up getting another one, so I can put this on here someday to replace this. But in the meantime, I just got a threaded rod and nuts and epoxied them in there. But the problem is, it goes a lot slower than it should. And it's going to take forever to get it here. So I'll just keep on yakking away while this slowly moves from here to here, so I can fit it in to the space here You really can't see down there. But anyway, that's got there's only so much space in there. So this thing, where the motor is, has to go somewhere. So it can fit. And no, it's not going to fit either. Okay, so you can see right now, that's not going to work as far as it can go. And it's going to hit here. And this one, oh, this one ended up having to get moved over because it was too close on this side. So I moved it over. You can see where that lower piece of wood is. It was intentionally supposed to be leaning against that. So I ended up putting an extension out over it. And then put them slant things on there to try and guide it down into the spot so it would actually end up leaning forward. But I'm just out of freaking room here. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyway, this can sit down there. And or not. Hey. So part of what's going on here is I have a rheostat. And I just, all I need is just because there's only one certain spot in here that actually works for it to, oh man. Okay, anyway, this is just, okay, what a mess, what a mess. Okay, so this, the oxygen furnace tilts over to dump into the ladle cars, which will go on down to the rolling mill for the continuous rolling. And then it comes back up. So I don't know nothing about any of this stuff. Supposedly you're supposed to have, I think they call it a pulpit, someplace where the people can go out to the top of that, and when it tilts forward, I can stick sticks down in there and get a glob of the iron or steel and test it. Isn't this just crazy looking? Well, anyway, another thing here in all this is because you can see I'm doing that. That's never going to work. This all lifts up. So I can go back in there and straighten everything up. But man, this thing's just a disaster, ain't it? Just one more thing. So anyway, part of the big problem here is these wires that can, whether or not they work or not, is that they get twisted up. And one of them will be over the other ones and taking up more space, and ends up being like that instead of level. So it ends up yeah, see how it goes there? That's not right. And that's what the problem is. So that's, some of this other stuff I'd work out, but I gotta figure out how to wind up the wires on them cables and have them wind up the same. So if you remember, I have a Connex container over there, and it had the problem of having the wires draping all over, and but it had like thin threads, cords to lift it up and down, and it worked up and down, but it had cords dragging, the electrical wires dragging all over. This one, I decided to try and fix it. This spins and this stays stationary. So I got another one for this to try it on the other one, but I got to figure out how to wind up the wires before it works. So I got some more stuff to do, but I got this so far along here and decided, oh, that's pretty close, and no, okay, it's nowhere near close. Nothing's working. But here we go. That's just another story for me. Get it all done and nothing works. Okay, there you go. Long story short, FUBAR. Bye.